And we are live. Yay! Okay, thank you all. Thank you all for being so patient and waiting. It was a little challenging coordinating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us into this one conversation. So without further ado, I will introduce these lovely ladies here. Okay, I'm just going to go down the line across the bottom of my screen that no one else can see, so it just looks like I'm pointing at you, and I'm really not. Okay, so we have Janet. Say hi, Janet.
Woo! Also known as Ray Guns and Rust.
We have Alana.
Hello.
We have Elizabeth, also known as Lil Pop Workshop.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
We have our mystery guest in the dark, also known as Lynn of Fangasm.
Hi.
AKA Dark Lynn.
Dark Lynn. And then we have Shelly of Conquest Journals.
Hello. I'm here with my daughter too.
Hi. So we brought our own video bombers. And I wanted to also mention that Janet is the proprietor of, I almost said Wayward and Rust. Ray Guns and Rust.
Wayward. Sure.
Okay, so we have gathered here today to talk about the Wayward Art Contest, which was the brainchild of Little Pop Workshop, who has been coordinating this gigantic effort. So why don't you, Elizabeth, I love putting you on the spot, talk about how you came up with this idea and what inspired you to do this?
Well, if anybody out there who knows me, they know that I love promoting fan art. I'm constantly doing fan art contests and things like that because I love just the wealth of talent that's in the Supernatural family. And also, I mean, we're going into the backdoor pilot of the spinoff that we've been trying to get made for 2 years, you know? So I thought that this would be a fun way to kind of get us over the hiatus over the next month and also be able to promote just the different kind of talents that we have in the Supernatural family, as well as show these awesome ladies and Bobo just how much we love them for the project that they're about to undertake. Or they've already undertaken.
That's really awesome. That's really awesome. And I think that I can speak for all of us when I say that I think each of us does a fairly decent job of, promoting other artists in the fandom, from across a wide array of mediums. And I think that's part of what makes the Supernatural family so special too, because we're not in competition with each other. We're here to lift each other up and support each other. So why don't we talk about what the Wayward Art Contest actually is, what we're accepting, what the rules are basically, and when the deadlines are for submissions and all that other good housekeeping kind of stuff. Who would like to take on that?
Well, I've got the rules up because I'm a nerd like that. I've got okay, so basically, if it is Wayward oriented, if it features one of our girls, if it features one of the actresses, we want it in this contest. And it's covers, you can do a drawing, you can do a painting, you can do a sculpture, you can do a poem, you can do a video edit, you can do even a song. If you are musically talented and you want to write a song, if you're a dancer and you come up with an interpretive dance for Wayward.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Me too.
I'm going to make Kaylee do one now.
Like, what about interpretive ribbon dancing? And I'm like, if you can make it Wayward themed, why the hell not?
That's right. Just express your Wayward. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Exactly. The rules are, there are no rules. Just do it as long as it's Wayward.
Exactly. And I mean, a lot of people, one of the reasons why I wanted to incorporate all of these different media is because I've been seeing so many notices on the contest itself saying, I'm not artistic, I'm not good at this, or I'm not good at that. And I'm like, yes, you are. Just find your way of expressing your wayward. You know, you have your own methods of showing that, and we want to see that. It doesn't have to necessarily be a drawing. It can be, hey, maybe you're a poet and you write a poem about it. I think we've had a couple of people submit poetry to the contest, so it's whatever you want to submit that expresses your love for the show.
So why don't we talk about the prizes that are up for the grand prize winner as well as the runner-up. The runner-up gets some pretty cool stuff too.
Oh, yes. Yes, they do.
I nominate Shelly to talk about that.
Janet, I'm sorry. I am so like distracted by what is that on your desk?
I wanted my own video bomber. I didn't have one.
Oh!
I love it.
Photo.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. I heard Alana putting me on the spot. Hold on.
Oh.
Alana was putting me on the spot with what's on in the runner-up prize pack.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Liz, you're gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, the runner-up prize pack looks like they get, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get all this right, a Wayward AF right? An autographed Family Don't End with Blood bookmark, one of our Conquest Hunters journals, custom Little Pop Workshop Funkos, 20% off Jody's shop, and If I Could Tell You. What is If I Could Tell You?
That's the calendar from Stan with all of our ladies in it.
Okay, that's the wonderful calendar. Did I get everything covered in the runner-up pack, Liz?
I cut out like halfway through that.
I think you did though.
Okay.
I think you did.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And then the grand prize pack is so full of things. And I'm not going to get them all. I'm not going to get them all right. I know this. Earrings from Supernatural Specialties, which is Zerby. She couldn't join us tonight. But it looks like two necklaces, three necklaces, Jody, from you?
Two
necklaces from you. And is that eight? And what?
One is Janet's. Oh, she's holding it up.
Okay. And yes. Oh, yes. It's beautiful. There it is. That's what's in it. One of Janet's necklaces. Is that a leather Wayward AF cuff?
Yes, from Zerby.
Okay, from Zerby. Is that an autographed book, Lynn?
Yes, a signed copy by me of Family Don't End with Blood.
Tell us a little bit about your book.
So Family Don't End with Blood is actually the book that was written by almost all of the Supernatural actors. So Jared, Jensen, Misha, Mark, Ruth, Kim, Brianna, Rachel, a whole bunch, 13 of the actors wrote chapters about how being on Supernatural has actually changed their lives as much as it's changed all of our lives as fans. And actually, Kim and Brianna, one of their chapters is actually called Wayward AF, because it's all about the beginnings of when they first had this idea and they first sort of found the power of the word wayward and how it was meaningful to fans and also meaningful to them. So I feel like Family Don't End with Blood is really sort of integrally tied in with Wayward Sisters. So I love that. I love that one of the chapters is called that. So it's turned out to be, people say, a pretty inspiring book because people read it and see that, you know, the actors have struggled with the same things that we have. So that's the message we wanted to get out there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So as part of the grand prize pack, you'll win an autograph by the author, Lynn, book. You get, and what are the pops they're going to get with the grand prize pack, Liz?
Well, the pops that they're getting with the grand prize pack are just Wayward Sheriff Jody and Donna, which are currently vaulted because it's very hard to get pieces to make them. So these will probably be the last ones that I will ever be able to make.
Wow. Ooh. That's really awesome. I'm going to have in there a John Winchester journal And what really cracks me up that I never thought to include is that I made, before we even knew that there was going to be this spinoff, we made a sticker that's basically all the ladies of Supernatural. And so I'll put a sticker pack in there too. We made these stickers like a year and a half ago, and it just took us a while to get them made, to be completely honest. And ironically, there's a ladies sticker sheet right in time for the show.
I feel like we've all been thinking about this for a long time. You know, all the women who watch Supernatural have been thinking about this for such a long time, which is why it's so amazing to see it actually coming to fruition. Because how often do we all think about something and, oh my God, it actually happens? You know, it's unbelievable.
It does. And I was going to say too that it's so great that Alana happened to be doing a school project based on this too, and the strength of women, and how we all need to make sure that we support this even beyond getting it launched, because it's going to need continual support going forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the documentary is I never thought that I was going to make it, because honestly, I was just sitting one day and I was on Twitter and I was like, well, this is important to me and I don't want to just sit here and not do anything about it. I have a platform that I can use to express, you know, what I want to support. And so I was like, oh, let's do this thing. And then I was met with several roadblocks, and I was like, oh, this thing isn't going to happen. And then it did happen, and it was really cool and emotional. And now it's bigger than I ever thought it was going to be. And I'm still in the editing phase. I have a rough cut of it that I had to turn in for class, but I'm posting the actual thing on January 18th, and it's over 15 minutes long, and I did not expect it to ever get that long. But I have a lot of interview footage from when I talked to Kim, and she really carries the whole thing. She kind of ties everything together. So it's coming along. I'm really excited for everyone to see it.
We are all very excited. We wait to see the end results of all of that. I mean, it's so amazing. And I thought I'd just read a few comments that are popping up in the chat window here. Got some really cool stuff going on here. Linda wrote, it's always amazing to me how much different magnificent talent there is in the SPN family. And Elisa said she submitted poetry.
Yay!
And Linda also mentioned, Lynn, that your book is full of marvelous inspirational stories and to read only with tissues nearby, which is true.
That is totally true. I know.
Yeah, I went through quite a few tissues when I was reading.
Somebody told me that when I sell the book at conventions, I should give everybody a little pack of tissues when they buy the book, because they're going to need them.
You should.
You should. You absolutely should. Comes with free Kleenex. We are so lucky that the show listens to its viewers. Alana, where did it go? Someone had a very nice comment for Alana. Oh, Annika Broad wrote, Alana, you did a great job. Alana, you were so great at what you do, girl. You're so talented, and your star is about to rise. I can't wait to see the documentary. We're all excited for the documentary. I mean, there's so much love in this chat room right now. I need Kleenex. Someone asked a question. Alicia's asking a question about when will we know what cons you're going to in 2018. That question's directed to Alana. And I thought maybe towards the end of the chat, we could all just talk about what we've got on our calendar for 2018 that we know of thus far. We'll answer that question, but later on tonight. I thought it would be really fun if we could all just go down the line and talk about what does Wayward actually mean to each of us. So, for me, I'll start. For me, it just means being unapologetically who you are. Just putting it out there, and I'm not saying, being offensive in any way, but just not filtering yourself based on your audience, yourself and authentic no matter where you are. That's just my interpretation of it. What about you, Janet?
Well, I think I would say that what wayward means to me is embracing everything that comes to you. I think that we all get opportunities in our day-to-day lives. I think that we all have a moment that we could maybe take a step to the left and we just stand still instead. And I think that being wayward means to be so authentically that person who will take that step, who will take that opportunity.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Being willing to take that step and risk. There was a quote that Meryl told me a few weeks ago, actually, and it's a Michael Jordan quote, and you just reminded me of that quote. The quote something like, "I always miss 100% of the shots I don't take."
Yeah.
So that
Exactly.
yeah. Alana, how about you? What does wayward mean to you?
Oh God. Well, in terms of like the actual movement, I think I'm gonna go with something that Kim told me. It's like, it means wherever you are, that's exactly where you should be. So even if someone is telling you this isn't what you should be doing, you know, you should be doing this, or you should be doing this isn't gonna work, it's gonna fail. If it's where you feel like you should be, then that's where you should be. Like, you shouldn't try to fit into a category of what someone else wants you to be because they think that that's what the correct path is for you. You should follow the path that you want to take for yourself.
Amen. Elizabeth, how about you?
Okay. Well, first I'm going to apologize if my phone suddenly dies in the middle of me talking. Wayward. God, now I have to think about it.
Do you want me to go to Dark Lynn?
Yeah, I have to think about it. I'm sorry.
Okay, we're gonna go to Dark Lynn.
Okay. I think it's interesting because I think what I've been writing about in all the books that I've written about fandom and the books that I've written about Supernatural is about being wayward, because they've all been about how fandom, and when I say fandom, I mean Supernatural fandom because that's my fandom. Fandom is kind of the first place, I think, for many of us where we really could be ourselves and we didn't feel judged and we didn't feel like we had to constrain ourselves. And when I found that in fandom, it was such a powerful thing. It's why I started writing books, because people were saying, you know, oh, fandom, ha ha ha, funny thing. And all I felt about it was this powerful, wonderful thing that was helping people figure out who they really were. It was all about identity and validation and being wayward and that being okay. So in a funny way, I really feel like the whole wayward movement is what I've been trying to write about for all this time. It's made me really emotional that the wayward episode is on my birthday. It seems like so perfect that it's on my birthday, and Alana's documentary is going to come out on my birthday, and it's just like I'm going to have a big wayward birthday party.
That's amazing, Lynn. It was, you know, there's something to it. That's not coincidence.
I know, right? Doesn't it seem like that?
It's fate.
It seems that way. I'm taking it that way.
That's amazing. All right, Shelly, how about you?
Okay, I first have to say my birthday is January 17th.
Oh my God, what?
Yes.
We're almost birthday twins.
The day before. It's, how weird is that? I mean,
we got to have a big party, Shelly.
we do. We do. Well, yeah, I mean,
Orlando's gonna rock.
we're going to be in Orlando, so yeah, we have to have a big party. Okay, so wayward for me, I really like what Lynn said about the fandoms, and I really like everybody's feeling of wayward being exactly authentic to yourself, and I totally agree with that. But I really also feel like for women in particular, it's a strength. It's a movement of strength. It's that strong ability to stand against the storm. One of my favorite sayings that I look at when I'm like needing some inspirational and, you know, something to kind of lift my spirits is the one about the devil whispers to the warrior, you can't withstand the storm. And the warrior whispers back, I am the storm. And I think that's what Wayward is to me. It's being the storm. It's being the strength to stand up against all the odds.
That's amazing. Elizabeth, are you ready for your answer?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Okay, shoot.
To me, Wayward means embracing the strength within myself and also finding strength in my own vulnerabilities, because I'm not perfect and I know that no one expects me to be. And there's a lot of times when I want to fall down and give up and just say, you know what, to hell with this, I'm done. But it's this movement that told me that my strength is in my choice to get back up, is in my choice to, as Shelley said, you know, face the storm and just say, you know what, I'm stronger than this and I can do. Hey, stop biting me. Sorry, Dean's in my lap and he's biting. But it's my Wayward is finding that strength within myself to say, I can do this.
You know, it's very interesting that all of us have taken Wayward and we've internalized it and how we see ourselves and how we feel we should be as women. I think for myself too, I'm trying to figure out how to articulate it. It's not only how we feel about ourselves, but I think it also affects the way we treat others. Mm-hmm. You know, being more supportive of other women. In my previous life, you know, I was in corporate for many, many, many years. And that environment was, you know, the old stereotypical cutthroat. That's a thing. That's actually a thing. And it was especially egregious between women too, because
especially, you're so right, Jody. I was in corporate for a long time too. And it was, women were almost worse.
Yes.
To eeach other.
I agree.
You could find a great male mentor who would help you and lift you up and see your potential. But women, boy, it was a lot harder to find a woman who was going to, I mean, there were a couple who were, but the majority of the women I worked with would more cut you down than lift you up. Yeah.
That was my experience as well, that women tended to be fiercely competitive. And, you know, I had a lot of women that reported into me, and I felt like I was babysitting every day because, oh, she's touching my stuff. She's trying to get me in trouble. And, you know, I used to have team meetings to talk about, look, we're all in this together. Can we just pull together and we'll get more done if we're supporting each other than if we're, you know, constantly trying to tear each other down. We're not getting anything done that way. But, you know, I really do believe that Wayward also affects the way we do treat other people because, you know, it's kind of like a chain reaction. I mean, once you've gotten that internalized about yourself, it kind of just organically flows from you and how you interact with other people.
Right.
Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. I think the more comfortable you are being yourself, the less defended you are and the less likely you are to respond to somebody out of defensiveness. So you can have a more authentic communication with someone and it doesn't go off the rails nearly as often when you're having an authentic conversation.
Right.
That's so true. That is really true.
I want to throw out right quick, just amongst us here that have been called on by Liz to do this. I'm really surprised to hear all of this coming from some of you guys. And I'm surprised in a very awesome way, because I see a couple of you who may be close to my age, but I see a lot of you, several of you there that are nowhere near my age. And I came to this not so long ago, this you know, lifting people instead of putting them down and being a support system and embracing the differences and making them all wonderful. And you know, I'm older. I bet you I'm older than everybody here. And it took me a lot longer to get to that than some of the young people here. And I am just so, I'm going to cry now. That's amazing. I just wish I was as smart as you younger people.
Okay, in Janet's defense, Janet, do you want to tell everybody here what you were in your previous life?
In my previous life, I was a Sultan of Arabia, and I had several milk white camels.
Okay, your other previous life?
I have no idea where that came from. I was in the U.S. Navy for 20 years, and I was in a rating that was mostly men. In fact, when I was in it, the rating was 99.2% male. And I was one of a group of women selected to open ships to new females. And I got to tell you, what you guys were saying about the corporate world, as rough as it was trying to get a bunch of guys to go, yeah, sure, let them on board, because they really didn't want to. It was even tougher to get those women to support each other.
Yeah.
And I got told, I was actually talking to a U.S. Senator once, and she said, what's your biggest problem? And I said, it's getting the women not to backstab each other until we can get through this.
Yeah.
And it was very much, I had women that were my age at the time. I had women who were 10 years younger than I was. They were all backstabbers. They would cut me in a heartbeat. And I was like the head of the group. So I was the target person. And yeah, they would go to another chief on board or whatever, and they would have all these great stories to tell about me and all the horrible things I was doing. And it was just like, really? You know, there's only 24 other people on this ship who know what you're going through right now, and you just alienated the highest ranking one.
Yeah.
Never did that.
Well, that's what happens
so,
when you have scarce resources and women can't access them, and when you have misogyny that everybody internalizes, that's what happened. That's why Wayward is so important, because we got to do this. We got to do this differently. It hasn't done us as women any favors to do it that way.
Right. Right.
Exactly. That's why I am so just enthralled with you younger folks that are just like all together and support each other. And this is awesome. And Liz, you got to be less than half my age. And you thought this whole thing up. That's amazing. So, and I've just been
enough
so
for the important things.
I'm sorry?
What?
I was by you guys that I've been going around to every.
You're so weird.
Thank you.
Okay.
Post that comes up and says,
My dad.
I can do this. I'm not good enough. Whatever. I've been trying to encourage everybody. And that's because you guys encouraged me.
That's awesome. Thank you. And thank you for your service, by the way, Janet. Thank you.
It was truly an honor. I had a hard decision to make at one point in my life, and I decided that I would go do the thing where I could travel around and take the shower and the air conditioning with me. So, no, just kidding. I wanted to serve the country. So
Awesome.
I jumped in.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Okay, there's some really great comments in the chat window right now about what they feel Wayward is. Alicia wrote, we need many more strong women characters on TV. And I'm so happy that Kim and Brianna got this opportunity to show what kick-ass women can bring to the table. Amy wrote, I think Wayward means that you can be anyone you want to be without being judged, and that you have no boundaries that hold you back from who you want to be and what you want to do. Elisa wrote, yes, I think Wayward is about strong women and that everything's possible and so much talent. Isabella, she wrote, Wayward for me is a reason to keep moving forward and to keep fighting and pushing through day by day with the support of your family and friends, and a way to tell people they're not alone. Alicia also wrote, I feel like Wayward makes me feel powerful and strong because we were all powerful and strong in one way or another, and it helped us all realize that, I think. And Linda wrote, amen to that. I've completely rewired my mind and way of thinking of who I am because of the supernatural family. How many of us can say that? I mean, I think that that's true for most of us. I mean, this has completely transformed my life.
Yeah.
It's definitely true for me too. And one of the cool things about Wayward is that it's building on stuff that we've been incorporating into the supernatural family, you know, like Always Keep Fighting and You Are Not Alone. And it's building and building and building. And then now we're here.
Yeah.
Now we are here. I mean, I was so excited when they first introduced the character Sheriff Jody, and then down the line they introduced Sheriff Donna, and then down the line there were so many powerful women in the series. Some of them are still alive. Not many of them. We're not going to go there like Eileen. Yeah, Liz knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. But I mean, hey, but now they have they have that giant rift in the universe that they can just pull anybody out. So Eileen, who was it? Somebody told me they had a theory Eileen was real. That wasn't really Eileen. It was a shapeshifter. Somebody told me that. I can't remember who it was. But whoever said that, I hope that's true. But anyway, my whole point being is that I very rarely see on other TV shows the level of strength in character in females that Supernatural has given their female characters. And I think that also carries through to not only their characters, but as people as well. So these actors have now taken on so much more than what a typical actor would. I mean, there was always this boundary, you know, I'm on TV and now I'm not. I'm on TV and now I'm not. But now I'm on TV and now I'm at a convention and I am preaching what you see on TV. I am preaching strength. I am walking the walk, not just talking the talk. And I think that these actresses have taken on so much more responsibility towards the fandom because of Wayward. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Trust me. I'm saying that I think we owe them so much more gratitude because of what they're giving us, not just entertainment value. They're giving us basically life instruction, you know, and they're giving so much more of their time and their energy and their emotional energy.
And I think it's really cool too, though, when Kim says, you know, Jody is, you know, super badass and super strong, and, you know, but I'm not always that strong. And she, you know, admits when she's afraid, and she admits when she's like freaked out about something, and she's like, you know, I would not be brave about that. You know, I would have gone running the other way. And I think that's good that she calls about, you know, the realistic and human frailties or, you know, vulnerabilities, to Liz's point, that we all have, that no matter how strong we are and no matter how strong these characters are, ultimately we're all really humans, and we have fears and vulnerabilities. But it's good to see that strength carried out in a character. So, you know, I'm afraid right now, but I can find the strength, or I can find the courage to do things. So, yeah.
I think that's what's like so extraordinary about this cast is, and the reason that they have had such an impact on us is because they're not afraid to be real. I mean, it's an unusual and courage to show their vulnerabilities and be real and talk about those kind of things. It's why they wanted to write Family Don't End with Blood. They wanted to write something that was written by them instead of being like an interviewer asking them questions or something. They just wanted to write it. And they all ended up writing about their vulnerabilities, about how they're not perfect, about they're just like the rest of us. I mean, Jared's chapter lays it all out in a heartbreaking way. Here, this is a weird cast. I don't know any other television show. Oh, we want to write a book for our fans and absolutely lay ourselves open. That's just, it's weird, but you're so right, Shelley. That's what inspires us because they are so real.
Yeah.
And I love that they feel comfortable enough to do that with us. I think that is what's so unique about the Supernatural family, and the cast that we have is that they feel comfortable enough to be that vulnerable with us.
And I personally think the conventions have played a huge part in building that relationship. I don't know any other convention and fandom and show that have all come together in this particular way. I mean, you know, I do other genre conventions, and I even have done other genre conventions for creation. And then, you know, last weekend I was at a Walker Stalker Con, and you know, that interaction with the actors is really wonderful and it's really great, but it's completely unique with Supernatural. And when people come up and they see my photo ops and they see our Supernatural stuff, they're like, where did you get a picture with Jared and Jensen? I'm like, oh, at the Creation Supernatural Con. They're like, wait a minute, there's a Supernatural convention? I say, there's nothing like it. There's truly nothing like it. And that I think that openness with the fans that they've had has made it all come together to be this really unique relationship we all have with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd been going to conventions for about 4 years before I actually made it to my first Supernatural Con. And just even that first day, that Friday, it's a whole different feeling because it feels more intimate. You're all there for the same reason. You're all, and I mean, the cast, they interact with you in different ways versus, you know, you're sitting in a huge auditorium staring at a screen, you know, and that's why I want to keep going as long as I can, for as long as they'll keep doing them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing about them is the fact that even though you go and you're like all excited to see the cast and stuff, you see your friends. Like, that's also so much fun. Yeah. I love to go and see you guys there. Like, that's one of my favorite things. I would go literally if there were no actors just to see you guys.
And how many of us have friends in the Supernatural convention just because of the Supernatural convention? I mean, I mean, so many of my friends are friends that I met through the conventions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's so cool though, because you walk around and you'll be like, I know you, I know you, I know you, and then you'll like kind of get to show each other your photo ops and get to talk and just kind of hang. It's like a giant party that goes on for 3 days.
It's like a Supernatural slumber party.
It is. Yes. Except people don't really slumber very much, but not at all.
Then you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
Linda's saying that it's her life goal to attend a convention. We will get you to a convention, Linda. Annika Broad saying the same thing. All of you out there who have never been to a Supernatural convention, put it on your bucket list. Put a bucket next to your bucket list to start saving.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really, and there's some shows coming up this year for Creation that are really different than what they've done in the past. There are 2 shows this year that Jensen and Jared aren't even going to be there, but Misha will be the headliner, I believe. And yeah, you know, so it'll be different. It'll be different, and the tickets are less expensive. And it'll be really, really cool because I can't tell you, like, my experience, because I always get to a convention on a Thursday night because they always let us set up on Thursday nights. You know, and there's so many people there Thursday night and Friday that aren't even there for Saturday and Sunday. They're just there because they want to see Rob and Rich and Matt. Yeah. And, you know, that's their, you know, their big 3. You know, they want to see Loud and Swain. They want to see Matt Cohen. They want to see Richard Spade. They're really not there for Jensen and Jared. So it'll be interesting to see the dynamics and how that changes with these 2 other cons that they've decided to do. Yeah. So there are other opportunities and other ways of seeing, you know, the cast. I mean, not all of the cast will be there, but, you know, it'll be different. It'll definitely be fun. Well, I'm sorry. I'm trying to read through this chat window's moving fast. You guys type fast. Want to meet Jason Mans. Yeah, his performances are amazing. Absolutely amazing. But I think we've got about 10 minutes left, so why don't we tie back to our contest? And, Liz, I hope you're not fading away again. I see your avatar pop up. No, don't go!
I'm really trying, y'all. That link is the worst.
So Liz has already Liz has taken on not only coordinating this whole effort, but she's also taking in all of the submissions herself as well. And I thought, maybe Liz can talk about some of the great things that she has seen come her way so far.
We have about, I think last count, 15 or 16 entries already in the last 4 days, which is amazing.
Awesome.
And there was, I'm really bad. I'm not going to say names or anything, but there was one that came through that was a poem that I shared with you guys that was, the inspiration was Jody Mills, and it was absolutely beautiful. And it was, they had gone in and done colors and fading on the words and made it not just a poem, but also a piece of art. And I thought that was really cool. Mm-hmm. I think yesterday, someone submitted a music video where they had taken clips of the different characters and the different girls and set it to music, which is also an option. A lot of them have been drawings, and someone submitted a painting of Brianna. And the cool thing was they had told me on Twitter that was the first time they'd ever painted a female. And that was how they worded it. This is the first time I've ever painted a female. And it turned out amazing. I think Brianna even saw it on Twitter. So guys, when you're submitting them to the contest, please put them up on social media, tag them, let them know that you love them, because that's what the whole purpose of this is. So don't think you have to be secretive. Don't think you have to hide it. Just throw it up there. Tag everybody. Make sure you tag the powers that be. So tag Dab, tag the CW. Make sure you let Bobo know that you love him too, because he has been putting a lot of effort into this as well. So show them. That's the whole point of what we're doing. So put it up online. Don't just hide it and stick it in the email, because they're gonna see it anyway.
We're gonna out you.
Liz, what's the deadline again?
Liz, do you remember the deadline? I don't remember the deadline.
I don't remember the deadline. I thought we would circle it back.
I think it was January 10th, because we're doing.
Oh, the week before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we lost Liz. She's either frozen or
She is frozen.
No, this is her. I'm just disgusted with you, and I'm just going to stare at you uncomfortably.
That question just threw her. It was, when is the deadline?
Whoops, I wasn't trying to bring it to such a standstill.
We can blame Shelly.
I know. Wait. Screw it all up.
Rose Liz.
But speaking of outing people, Blue Eyed Babe 03 in the chat room, the poem that Liz was just describing with the word art, she said, "Oh my gosh, that's my poem."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
you did it.
Well done. It was
bravo.
Liz shared that with all of us, and we were so moved by it. Beautiful work, absolutely beautiful work. And here's
the deadline. Yes, Wednesday, January 10th. You guys were right. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so Wednesday, January 10th, and did we have midnight Central Time, Eastern Time?
Well, I'm
Miller
based in
time.
Texas, so Central Time's probably gonna.
Okay.
Because it's just easier for me to remember, and I'll probably be awake.
Okay, so January 10th, midnight Central Time is the deadline for submissions. And I wanted to reiterate, and all of us wanted to reiterate to everybody, don't limit yourself by saying, I'm not artistic, I can't draw, I can't do this, I can't do that. If you put your thoughts down to paper, who's to say that's not artistic?
Exactly.
You know,
Yes.
each of us has our own way of expressing ourselves, and not all of it may be traditionally artistic, but it's still expression. Art is expression. So go for it. Don't put limitations on yourself.
Yeah, this is about being wayward. So be wayward, express yourself, be real, be who you are, and just express that however you feel moved to express it.
Be wayward AF.
Right. And if you keep putting on the Twitter that you can't do this, you bet your ass I'm going to find you and I'm going to tell you that you can.
As a matter of fact, if Liz finds each of us, if we ever come across tweets that say, well, I would, but I don't know how to do, or I can't do this, I'm not artistic, we're going to tag all of our asses onto that, and we're all going to come down on you in a wayward shitstorm.
In a very nice way.
In a nice, positive, we want to
In a very nice, positive
Wayward way.
Tell them to
we're going to be encouraged. We're going to encourage you.
careful, or
We're going to encourage you forcefully.
That's right.
force encouragement. This is good. It's like mandatory fun. We always had that in the Navy.
Mandatory fun, and you're gonna like it.
We'll be there, and you will have a good time.
Or else.
Is the contest international? We're being asked if it's international.
Yeah, if you come on Twitter and you say that you can't do something or that you have some kind of block, you'll be forced to sit through one of my Yes You Can lectures. Just letting you know.
Yes, Jody, it is open to U.S. and international, because I think Liz is laughing and or frozen. But I just, I just read her
Frozen
rules.
in laughter.
Suddenlink hates me today. Okay?
So while reviewing her rules, yes.
It's open to everybody because I'm handling the shipping, so I will pay to ship it internationally. So we're good. I've actually gotten a couple of international submissions already. So it's
Nice.
Wow, from where?
One from
I would check, but my internet doesn't work outside of my phone.
Well, one I believe is from Europe. She didn't say exactly where, but she DM'd me and told me that she had just submitted some poetry, and it was really, really awesome.
Oh, thanks.
Cool. That's cool.
That is very, very cool. International.
Alter.
Oh, Elisa said, haha, it's her from Germany.
Yes.
And Annika Broad's also from Germany.
That's
Germany's represented.
Yes, there were a couple. I just cannot remember off the top of my head where they were from. Dean, you are not helping.
Oh, Elisa has a very good question. This is a really good question. Can we submit more art, but not as more entries? So what she's saying, she already submitted an entry, but she has more art that she'd like to share with us.
If you want to share it, yes, you can go ahead and share it with the tag on Twitter. That's totally fine. You just can't enter more than once.
So if they wanted to use the hashtag Wayward, but not Wayward Contest, because then that would imply that it's entered into the contest.
Yes, but also, and you can tag us so that we can see it and share it as well. But please, big note.
Uh-oh.
Whenever she gets serious, it freezes.
Please, please. Oh, Liz.
Anticipation.
I know. I feel like a Tim Curry moment.
I know.
Oh, we have someone. Bridget said she's going to be submitting from Canada.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple entries, Linda. You could only enter once, but as Liz was explaining before she froze, she's still frozen. It's adorable.
I was about to say a thing and it died.
You can only enter once, but if you have artwork that you want to share, you can tag all of us, and we can just boost the amplification of your artwork. But only one entry can be submitted via email, and only one entry will be accepted.
Yes. Make sure that you email it It won't count if you just submit it through social media, which is what I was going to say before it died.
Oh, you have to email your entries.
Right.
Yeah.
So you could still post it on social media and tag Wayward Art Contest, because that's not an entry. That's just putting it out there to show it. It's the email that's the entry.
Gotcha.
Right. You can only email once.
Right.
And for the contest rules and stuff, we'll keep tweeting them and we'll keep posting them. And so check all of our Twitter accounts and Facebook, because
they're currently pinned right now to the top of my Twitter feed. So they'll stay there through the end of the contest.
Perfect.
Does anybody have any final words of wisdom before we sign off?
Do it.
Be wayward.
Just submit something, just show your love for this program and show your love for Kim and Brianna and K2, because Catherine and Clark and Yachty and Bobo, and just show your love for this program. That's all we're asking.
Yep.
Because a majority of why it is a thing now is because fan voices wanted it in the first place and they made themselves heard. So if we want to support it and we want to see it grow into more than just a backdoor pilot, then we have to make our voices heard and we have to show them. That's what we want.
Exactly.
I say dive in, don't hold back.
Yep.
And just find your voice. Because, I'm predominantly a writer. That's what I'm going to school for. But I also paint, so find your expression, find your voice, and just show your love.
Oh, we never answered the question about the schedules.
Oh, thank you for reminding me, Alana. Yeah. So for myself, I'm basically doing every single supernatural convention that's in the United States for 2018. Janet is actually going to be diving in Charlotte.
Yay. I've never been to a supernatural convention. I've been to many, many conventions, but yes, that'll be my first supernatural. Looking forward to it.
Are you vending?
I'll be at most of them too. I'll have the book. I'll be selling the book at just about, I think maybe 80% of them I'll be selling the book at. So I'll be in the vendor room at almost all of them.
Shelley?
I am going to be at every U.S. supernatural convention, obviously, since I have a journal for those conventions. So yeah, I'll be at every U.S. convention.
Okay, my situation's weird, because, I have tickets for a bunch of them, but I just have to, figure out travel arrangements, because, I'm partnering with Creation, so they help me out with passes, but, I have to figure out the travel arrangements, so it all depends on if I can, financially make it happen, so I can, fly to places and stay in hotels. So it looks like the first one I'm going to is Seattle. That's, the one I know. I think that's the first one I'm going to be at. And then I know I'm going to Chicago. That's not up in the air at all. I'm going to Chicago. I should be at Pittsburgh. I should probably be at Charlotte. I should probably be at Indianapolis. Possibly Cleveland, and most likely Vancouver.
Lucky you. Lucky.
Possibly. I don't know. Most of that is up in the air, but Seattle and Chicago are pretty much set in stone.
Yay.
Did we lose Elizabeth?
I think so.
Lost Elizabeth.
She's back.
What?
She's back now. Shh.
Did I miss something? Y'all talking something bad about me?
No, no.
We love you.
I'm kind of the odd duck out because I can't vend at the creation conventions under their current rules. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm trying to see if I can make it to San Francisco or Chicago if the numbers, if financially it all works out.
I vote Chicago.
Yeah,
I would
Chicago.
love to be at Chicago. Like that one always sounds super fun.
A good one.
It's a good one.
It is.
I think they all are. They're all fun. They each have something special about them. Each location has something unique to bring its own little spark to it. Blue Eyed Babe 03 is saying, can't wait for all your convids, Alana. I'm Katie Mays here. Hi, sweetie. We are getting ready to wrap it up. So I want to take a minute to thank each and every one of you for joining tonight to talk about this amazing project. And thank you to Elizabeth so much for everything that you're doing. You're basically running the show and we are just standing by like, yeah, look at the great job she's doing. And thank you. And, we really, truly appreciate it. And each of you has brought something really unique and special to this project. And, hopefully it'll catch the eye of, Kim, Brianna, and Bobo, and Kay and Clark and Yadi and everybody, so that they know how much they're appreciated and how excited we are for this new spinoff. And I want to thank everybody out there for watching. And we will be back, I guess, we're closing on January 10th, the entries, and we'll be in touch before that to let you know when we're going to announce the winner. We'll have another show just like this, I suppose, where we can announce the winner, or we could talk about it if we want to do it that way, or we just want to do it through social media. We have some talking to do. We don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass at the moment. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm delirious. I just drove over 9 hours straight. I'm like, yeah, so I'm amazed I'm still conscious. So anyway, meanwhile, I want to thank everybody. Have a great night. Thank you for watching and keep your entries coming in. Bye.
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 Guys.